Hi, and welcome to Barbie's Place, where we can just chat it up. I have another story that has made me grow up, well, something that has made me grow up, I should say. And this one is more about my spirituality. So when I was younger, I used to go to my grandmother's house in Douglas Projects in Manhattan, and I used to hang out. And I told you that I used to be always a person who was very spiritual, dabbling in different spiritual realms and things like that. And it's funny because I used to have this gift of whatever I say will come to pass. And I remember one time one of my friends would challenge me, and he was like, it's a group of us, we all used to hang out and everything, and he said to me like, you can't say something and it happens. So me being the kid that I was, or the teenager I was, I was kind of being mean, and I was like, you know what, that's why you're going to fall down the steps and you're going to get hit by a car. That's what I said. Yes, I'm going to say it again. I said, you're going to fall down the steps and you're going to get hit by a car. Now, if you ever been in the projects, and I don't know how many of you grew up in the projects, but you know that when they did the stairs over and they did that fireproofing, and how slick the stairs was and how it was inside the stairwells, well, we would hang out in there. And this particular day, we was all hanging out, and it was my cousin and my friends, and we was just really chilling. And again, we had this conversation earlier that day, and it was just like, you don't know what you're talking about. So I was like, all right. And I said what I said. Well, we was in the staircase, and I remember him being at the top of the stairs. My cousin was in the middle, and I was at the bottom. And we was playing around like what we do, running, chasing each other, whatever, whatever teenagers do at that time. And what was so interesting is that he actually fell from the top of the steps. But what was weird about him falling is that, usually you fall and you just fall, but he actually was in the air, like he fell in the air. And my cousin ended up grabbing him, and I'm showing you with my hands because my cousin ended up having to grab him above his head. So that means that that wasn't just like a doop, 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 doop. That was like a flyover almost. And it was so crazy because when my cousin grabbed him, he stopped him from falling to the bottom of the steps where I was at. So he actually like grabbed him, and it was kind of like a catch type of thing. After that, when I tell you, this guy was so scared, he didn't even want to cross the street. He was like, oh my goodness, like, I'm not crossing the street unless you with me. It was like a whole big thing. And then he was like, you take it back, like you take back what you said. So I'm laughing like, you ain't gonna get hit by a car. Like, like I'm thinking, it was funny. Like we thought it was the funniest thing as kids. But what I realized that day is it changed me, because from that point on, I was called a jinx. And in being called the jinx, it made me grow up in the sense that it made me lose that part of my spirituality. From that point on, I was not able to speak things into existence the way that I did before. And I guess now you would call it manifestation, or speaking life into things or whatever. So I wasn't able to do that well, I do that, but I guess what I'm saying is I wasn't able to do that in an acknowledgement of it, where before I would just say it and I know it was going to happen. Now I had some doubt. Now I wouldn't even do it like I used to before. And it's so funny how things like that make you change. It does make you grow up, and it could be, I guess, in a negative way. So from that point on, I did not, I felt like a jinx. I guess I took on the label of being a jinx, and I stopped manifesting in that moment. So that's an interesting story as far as my gift of speaking things into existence. Thank you for tuning into Barbie's Place, where we can just chat it up.